Hey guys, Jess from Knockout Print Shop, and today I want to talk to you guys about our new expense tracker sheet. So we created the sheet because last month when Matt and I announced that we had reached our goal of becoming debt free, people started to ask us, how did you guys do it? Do you have stickers that could help me do this? Do you have different tools? Like, can you create stuff? And I was trying to rack my brain with how can I help somebody do what I did in a way that I actually didn't do it, because Matt and I didn't use stickers or pen and paper to manage and deal with our finances. So we use the Checkbook Whiz app, which is a free app. I know it's for iPhone, but I'm sure it's for Droid too, and Excel spreadsheets. So with the Checkbook Whiz app, I set my spending categories. I enter every single transaction anytime we purchase anything. If I don't do it in that moment, I'm always looking in our online checking account like daily or every other day to input any transaction. So I'm always on top of it. And then I can see at any given point, look at the report within the app and go, okay, groceries, we're at, $200 so far this month. And I know we've set a budget of $800, let's say, for groceries. And then at the end of each month, we have an Excel spreadsheet that I made that I put in all of our bills, the amounts of the bills, and then I look at the spending categories, I look at the app, and I input each of those categories' total amounts, and then I can see kind of where we're at. So that's how I do it. So when I was trying to think, how do I make stickers that do these things that these apps do, and how would somebody that maybe is doing this with pen and paper do it, we came up with the first thing that we thought people might need, and that is an expense tracker. Because what I have seen out there is a lot of expense trackers are just a sheet that's like date, the place that you bought the thing, and the total expense, the item amount, or the purchase amount. And then you total that at the end of the month. Well, that's great, but if you're not breaking these purchases and spending into categories, you don't know where you're slipping up. You don't know where you're overspending. You don't know where you have some wiggle room. You don't know where you're kind of like blindly spending too much money. So when we made this, I knew we needed to create it with categories. So you'll see there's date, there's the expense, and then there's blank columns for you to write in the category, and then at the end of the month you can total the category. That you can do for a couple months and then figure out where you need to be with each of those categories budget wise, where you can make small changes. The whole point is the devil is in the details. You need to know where you're overspending, where you're getting stuck, versus just being like, oh shit, I spent $100 more this month than I needed to. You need to really know where exactly you're getting stuck. This is the same for any category any area in your life that you're trying to make change. You need to get really real with yourself, because people always say, I know how much I'm spending, I know where my money goes, or I know what I'm eating. Most of us don't, right? I mean, let's be honest, our minds are brilliantly designed to keep us in denial. So we have to really commit to being honest with ourselves and no BS and write everything down. The clearer picture we have of where we're at, the better we can implement a plan to make lasting, sustainable changes. So now I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to take a look at the tracking tool itself. Okay guys, so here is the expense tracker sheet. So basically when you get this sticker, it's two stickers. So there's a seam, which you can't see right here on camera, but there's a seam. So this is like two of our half sheets together. Matt is super awesome at lining things up. This would probably not look like this if I had to do it. So this is what it looks like. You have a column for the date of each transaction, what the expense was, and these are going to be your categories. We were going to create stickers. Let me pull this over here. We were going to create stickers that had some popular categories and add that as an additional sticker sheet. But truth be told, first of all, design-wise, it was a pain in the butt and really not worth it. And also, everybody's so different that to make these general categories that might not apply to you, and you buy the sheet and like 5 of them aren't even your thing, it just would have been a pain in the butt. So we figured you can go ahead and write in here. We tried to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible and resemble, the theme and the look and feel of Inkwell Press, but also realized the purpose of this sticker is truly function over form and fashion. It's not the most beautiful, cute sticker in the world. It truly is about creating a functional tool in your planner. So this can fit in the note pages of any month. So here's like December, for instance, and it's fitting right into the note section. This is two separate ones. So if you buy it, you're going to get the top and the bottom. That's one. This will be two separate listings. You can get it strictly in black and gray, or you can get it in the coordinating colors. So there's like the blues for tidal pool. There's like a purplish for sea glass, all of that. So the simple, obviously, way to use this tool is come up with your categories. You know, everyone's going to be different. I always have a grocery category. I have a car gas category. I have a eating out restaurants category. I have gifts. I use pet care, medical. So you got to pick, the major categories. Don't get down, it's really, I guess it's up to you how, broken down into these categories you want to get and how much you need to really get in there with a fine tooth comb and figure out where you're overspending. But, try to come up, I think we have space for 11 here. This, again, is just the nature of the design. It's kind of a weird space, but let's say you want to use this column, which I would suggest doing if you have this many categories. Maybe put a shorter word. Gas could go in here. We were going to try to cut around this and make it angle, but then again, you're going to lose a column. So we just wanted to make sure that you could get the most columns this way and this way possible so you get the most out of this sheet. And then so basically you'll write, the date you made the transaction, maybe it was at Starbucks. I just put coffee here. It was 9:51, then let's say you're 7/7, you go to Trader Joe's and it's $70. And then at the end of the month, you go down this, calculator, calculate this, and there's your totals. This is going to be something you're going to want to utilize. I mean, you can utilize it ongoingly like I do in my app, or you can use it for a short time, but I highly recommend doing this for about 1 to 3 months to figure out how much you're spending in each category. And then once you have those averages, then go ahead and create a budget, because then you could maybe even come down here and write, okay, well, groceries, I spent $845, around $800 to $900 a month. I'm going to make my budget $950. And then you'll be able to see, you can even maybe write your budget amounts in here. We're thinking about creating a budgeting sheet as well that, again, is a more of a functional thing. And I also want to make these as an insert for A5 like we did with our food journal. But just remember, this sticker is about helping you gain insight and collect data. That is step 1 of financial freedom. You have to know where you're at. I can't tell you how many people will be like, well, they'll say, well, I know where my money goes. No, you don't. Nobody does until you write it down in black and white. That's just like when I have people, clients tell me, I know what I eat. No, you don't. Nobody does until they take a period of time to start tracking things, to really get in there and figure out what is going on. The human mind is freaking awesome at living in denial and giving us illusions of doing better and sometimes doing worse, but it's very important for us to get really real with ourselves and write things down, whether you do it here in Excel and an app. But I wanted to go over this with you guys and show you and explain it to you and show you and kind of tell you why we made it this way. So if you buy it and you have questions, let me know. If you want to see this in an insert, let me know, because I really would like to do it in an insert for A5 binders, or if someone wanted to buy it and then just have it not cut or punched and folded into a traveler's notebook, they could do that too. So before I get off with you guys, I want to show you the debt snowball sticker again. I showed it in my plan with me in the previous video I filmed, but the debt snowball was huge for Matt and I to get out of debt. And essentially, if you don't know what that is, let's say you have 2 debts. Let's say you have a $5,000 credit card debt and a $10,000 student loan debt. Let's say your $5,000 credit card debt is $200 a month and your $10,000 student loan debt is $100 a month. You attack the smallest debt first, regardless of interest rate. So I'm attacking that car payment, or that $5,000 debt, right? Paying my $200 a month, and it gets paid off. And then, all the while still paying my minimum on my $10,000 loan, which was $100 a month. So I'm paying that, and I'm paying any extra to kill this $5,000, kill a little guy. And then as soon as that's paid off, I start taking that $200 I was paying towards the debt that's paid off, and now that goes as an additional snowball payment to the other debt, because I know I can afford it. I'd been paying the 2 and the 1, the 300. So just because the little guy's gone doesn't mean, oh, all of a sudden now I have an extra $200 a month. No, live like you still were living before and put that 200 towards the next biggest, the next increasing loan, and start to pay that. And it is not easy, because you're going to be like, well, now I have extra money, I want to buy more things, and that debt's gone, yay. Fight the urge and try to stick with your debt snowball. I'm not gonna lie, there was months where I was like, we didn't pay a debt snowball that month and we spent a little bit more money on doing stuff. Life happens, we were not perfect. But the reason I made the sticker is because the debt snowball is not technically a bill. There's no one, you're not getting auto debited, no one's sending you a paper bill. This is your own discipline that's saying, okay, I'm gonna take this extra $200 and put it towards my student loan, and this is my remaining balance, checked off, done this month. So that's why we made this as a reminder you could put on whatever day of the month in your weekly spread that you're going to pay that snowball payment. Because without it looking in you in the face, I'm telling you, been there, done that, said, this month I'm not going to do it. So that's what we created that for. So these, I would say, are really good stickers to work together. If you do have debt, if you don't have debt, obviously you don't need to worry about that. And congratulations to you. Awesome. Keep kicking butt. But if you do have debt, and you want to pay it off, I highly recommend this strategy. If you're trying to get your finances in line, you need to see what's going on and get a clear picture and be really real with yourself. No BS. Let's see where you're overspending, see where you can make small cuts. I'm not saying all of a sudden you need to cut out Starbucks completely, guys. I've done that and it doesn't work. It backfires. I could do a whole video on why I think no spends are stupid and don't work. It's just like a diet that says, cut out this. It's never going to work. It's going to backfire. We are not set up psychologically to do well with that kind of restriction. It's better to say, okay, I spent $500 a month on Starbucks. I need to cut it down to $4 or whatever we can do. It's these small incremental changes over time that are sustainable that allow us to create change, not these dramatic ones. So whether it's diets, no spends, whatever, get out of the all or nothing mindset and start to find a sustainable plan, whether it comes to food or fitness or finance. So yeah, that's the expense tracker. These are the debt snowball stickers. Let me know if you have questions about this stuff, guys. I hope that's helpful tools for you. We're going to keep trying to develop more tools that are easy, simple for you to kind of just get the most out of your planner and start to achieve your goals if they have to do with some of these categories. All right, let me know if you guys have questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.